Hey there, welcome to the Uplift. We got a great show for you today. Great cast of characters as well, including these. A little boy lost on the street gets help from a stranger who ends up becoming a much bigger part of his life. And two brothers on a mission to run a marathon together despite a life-threatening diagnosis. And an organization that works to bring holiday gifts to kids who otherwise might not get any holiday gifts at all. And finally, a CBS News colleague opens up to David Begnaud about her diagnosis, one she kept hidden, but is now sharing to help others. All that and more heartwarming news. You know what you're watching? The Uplift. Hey there, I'm Tony Nicopol, and this is The Uplift, the show that lifts you up for at least the next 30 minutes. You, and I like to say me as well, and we're going to begin here. A new organization that helps foster kids all year round, but during the holidays, a particularly important mission of delivering gifts to kids who might not otherwise receive those gifts. Sounds good to me. Here's Caitlin O'Kane.
When you're a child in foster care, family traditions and gifts for the holidays might be distant dreams, but an organization in Florida is working to make them a reality. Ahead of Hanukkah each year, volunteers at Jewish Adoption and Family Care Options work to make the wishes of foster kids come true.
A lot of times at the holidays, children in foster care just get random gifts from very well-intended, generous people in the community, but there's lots of puzzles and lots of Barbie dolls, and that's not necessarily what they want in their heart. And I'm not sure that the children in our care have ever had a wish come true on the holidays necessarily. So we do have our children make a list of some wishes, and then we send it out to the community. And people actually pick a child, and they pick their gift list, and they really fill it.
Hundreds of kids get gifts for Hanukkah through JAFCO, but they also collect gifts for children celebrating Christmas.
Since we are a Jewish agency, we say Hanukkah, but we really mean holiday, and we really honor the background of every child we have. So I mean, there's gifts for everybody for all the holidays, but we do make sure that the children who are used to celebrating Hanukkah get Hanukkah gifts. The children who've never had a Hanukkah gift will still get one, but we make a bigger deal for Christmas for them, and we have Santa coming. So we really try to really understand what they're used to and try to go with that.
JAFCO started 30 years ago as a foster care organization that focused on matching kids with families that celebrated the same traditions.
We felt that if there was enough groups that were faith-based groups that were represented in the foster care system, that perhaps we could place children in a foster home when they've been abused and neglected and removed. They could be placed in a foster home where they would feel the most comfortable and still get to celebrate the holidays that they're used to, which is really one of the fondest memories that we all have of our childhood.
Now they serve children of all faiths, but the same mission of making kids comfortable and feeling loved around the holidays still stands.
Hanukkah is a celebration of a miracle that happened. We light one candle the first night, and then a second one. The second night we light two, and then three, and so on until we get to the eighth night. And the spiritual feeling behind that is it's a reminder that every day is another opportunity for all of us who are able to bring light into the world and make the world a better place.
Very true. To our next story, we now introduce you to a basketball team that had 4 straight years of losses. But that did not defeat the players' determination. Here's Steve Hartman.
Good morning. I'm here with my daughter and co-teacher, Meryl,
for a lesson on stick-to-itiveness.
Emmett, I assume this means to stick to it.
Well, kind of, but the actual definition is deeper. It's the quality of staying committed to a certain task or goal over a long period of time, especially when progress is slow.
And when you feel like quitting. Question, does this Post-it note have stick-to-itiveness?
Doesn't appear to.
It actually does.
Well, it doesn't matter if the Post-it note fails, as long as it keeps coming back and trying it. technically has stick-to-itiveness.
That's right. Stick-to-itiveness doesn't guarantee results, but sometimes miracles happen. And of course, I have a great example. A story pulled from our archive about what's possible when you really stick to it.
Lady!
Nice!
The Climax Fisher High School Lady Knights had been on a streak, booting and bobbling their way into the record books. This team from western Minnesota somehow strung together 84 straight losses. That's 4 straight years of ridicule.
People always make fun of you.
It's honestly embarrassing.
We lost a game 90-3, but those kids played like it's 5-5.
Jonathan Vanish is their coach.
They're going to be in there.
Jonathan says a few girls have quit, but the ones that remain are more determined than ever to turn this team around.
See if they can make an outside shot.
Which is why it was so heartening to see what happened in this game against Bagley High School, when the Climax Fisher Lady Knights, in white, got off to one of their best starts in recent memory. At halftime, they were actually leading by a point.
And the crowd was getting into it, which made it even better.
Really in the zone.
And then things went really wrong.
Really wrong, yeah.
Unfortunately, in the second half, they got in major foul trouble.
Oh my God.
One by one, their seniors fouled out of the game. All of them. Before it was over, the juniors would be gone too. In fact, for the last 3 minutes, they only had 3 girls left. 2 sophomores and a freshman. The most inexperienced players on the losingest team in the state.
Are you telling them we can win this?
Well, you know,
You didn't want to lie to them.
I don't think I used that term. I said, but you continue working to the end.
And that's really all their coach was expecting, a valiant effort. Can't win 3-on-5. In fact, they didn't score once from the field, but they did play stellar defense. And when they did get the ball, they were able to draw some fouls. And when they did draw those fouls, they made those free throws. Enough of them that when the buzzer sounded, the Lady Knights of Climax Fisher were on a new streak.
We were all hugging and crying and screaming our heads off.
It's probably the best moment of my life.
No matter what people say about you, if you keep putting in time and effort, it will pay off.
Coming up, you're going to want to stick with us because you're going to meet the boy who found himself lost on the street. He was looking for his dad, and what he found was a kind stranger who stepped up to help and ended up becoming a much bigger part of his young life. We take you now to a community in Southern California where a small donut shop has become a fixture. In fact, it's been a fixture for decades. Here's Adam Yamaguchi.
Off of Route 66 in Southern California, this small donut shop has been a community fixture for decades. Jim Nakano is the donut man. He opened the shop with his wife in 1972.
Why donuts? Because my wife likes hot donuts.
And she's not the only one. From glazed to signature strawberry, there's no shortage of crowd pleasers.
Come to Glendora, have a strawberry donut. They're terrific.
This is our specialty.
Oh, that is so good.
As uniquely American as the donut, so too is Nakano's personal story. During World War II, at just 2 years old, he was sent with his mother to a Japanese-American internment camp.
So many Americans do not know about this chapter in our history. And some of them don't believe it, that our country would do that to people.
You don't want that history to die.
Learn about your culture, learn about your family, and all that, because that'll make us closer.
A family that now extends to the entire community.
This donut shop has given us so much opportunity to meet different people. I'm just thankful that we were given the opportunity and we made the best of it. The American dream.
It's a great story, Adam. Thank you very much. Coming up in just a moment, a pair of brothers who wanted to run a marathon together and a deadly diagnosis almost pushed them off course, but they didn't let it dash their dreams. Brothers David and Eric Cummings have each completed the California International Marathon, but they've never completed it together. Well, after a shocking diagnosis, they were not sure they would ever be able to do it together until this year. Here's CBS Sacramento's Molly Reel.
3, 2, runners to your mark!
10,000 athletes raced from Folsom to the state capitol in the 40th running of the California International Marathon. It's a race that Rockland brothers David and Eric Cummings had each done before, but never together. And it seemed they might not get to after a shocking diagnosis.
A year ago, he was diagnosed with ALS. And now he's not able to run, so us being able to do this is the only way for us to be able to do this together.
The 2023 CIM is officially underway.
The only way was for David to push his older brother every step of the 26.2 miles.
We're doing this because we can do hard things. We don't know how much time we have left. Our days are numbered, and yeah, we're doing this to show people that we can do hard things.
Many marathoners eager to check off every mile as quickly as possible, but David and Eric were determined to make every moment of the marathon count, hoping to inspire others along the way.
You can do hard things, whether it's waking up in the morning like me, or running a marathon. Live each day to the fullest.
They just crossed, there they are. And in doing that hard thing, David and Eric have done something extraordinary.
At a loss for words, just as how much love and support we have.
And they did it together.
We don't know how long we have, but we can choose how to respond with each day that we give them.
Beautiful story there. All right, picture this. You're 10-year-old Tyrone Fisher, you're alone on the street, you're missing your dad, and a kind woman comes by to help. Well, now she is much more than a stranger, not just somebody he met in a chance encounter. Here's CBS Minnesota's Reg Chapman.
What do you call her?
Mom. I call her Madeir. That's her family name.
Tyrone Fisher has a new mom and a new outlook on life after a chance encounter 5 years ago on a street in North Minneapolis.
I didn't really know where I was going.
It was May 2018 when the then 10-year-old was out looking for his father near the intersection of 14th and DuPont Avenues North.
I seen this kid, he's got his phone, and he's doing this. So I pull over, and he comes across the street and says, I need help.
Queen Kimmon says his phone was dead, so he used hers to call his dad.
We linked up with his dad, and I was grateful, he found his dad. And I said, if you need me, just give me a call. And the next day, he calls me, right, and says, I need a place to stay.
Soon it became clear Tyrone's dad couldn't parent him anymore.
Tyrone reached out again. I just said, he's gonna stay here. He's gonna be anchored right here until we figure this thing out.
Through Hennepin County's child protection process, Queen became Tyrone's trusted and chosen family. He's made great strides since then.
Currently intern at the F.E. Thompson Digital Library for Family Research. I do online school for 279 Online High School. I'm a part of the leadership team there.
Both eventually chose to make that relationship permanent in 2021.
And that judge read our story and was like, wow, he found you. He found you. This is your son.
Her son, who now has big dreams and the resources to accomplish them.
Going to college and make a name for myself, give back to the community like her.
Thank you, Reg. Coming up, CBS News, Philadelphia's Ziza Schuler opens up about a health battle that she had at one time kept hidden. Now she is sharing her story to help others. Ziza Schuler, a reporter and anchor at CBS News Philadelphia, spent many years in the public eye hiding a battle with an autoimmune disease. But She recently opened up to our David Begnaud about her disease and her newfound purpose.
I literally would stay up at night and pray to God that one day I would go to college and leave all of this trauma behind and start a new life for myself. I was like, I'm going to be that. I'm going to be a news anchor.
It's not that Ziza Schuler didn't have the talent to be on camera. It's that she spent most of her television career doing it with a secret.
I just thought, okay, that's something that I'm going to keep buried forever.
That secret is alopecia. Diagnosed at just 12 years old with the autoimmune disease, all of her hair fell out as a child, and from then on, she hid it.
I wear a wig every day, personally and professionally.
But in September, during Alopecia Awareness Month, she broke the news to the viewers of CBS News Philadelphia, who know her as a weekend anchor.
I would spend hours in the mirror, meticulously styling my hair so that my wig would appear as natural as possible. But I'm tired. I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of living in fear. And that starts with living without my wig.
How is that to watch it back now?
It still makes me emotional.
Does it?
Yeah. Emotional in a different way, though. I can't believe I harbored so much fear and anxiety about revealing this secret that no longer is a secret now.
It was her boyfriend, Vaughn Pohl, who encouraged her to expose her truth.
We were about to go to the gym, and he's just like randomly, so are you gonna take your wig off? I think I felt like I was waiting for him to ask me that question. I don't know why.
And so when he did, what did you respond with?
I think I just said, okay. And I took it off, and he's like, okay, now let's go outside. I looked at him, and I was like, no. At that time, I'd never been outside bald.
Ever in your life?
No, I
Never outside?
Never went outside. I didn't know how it would feel for the wind or air to hit my bald scalp. I didn't know.
Huh. When was the moment where you felt some relief?
When a woman stopped me and said, girl, you look beautiful. And then another man stopped and said, sister, you rocking that bald head. And then someone else stopped me and was like, I love your haircut. Literally, within maybe a mile, these people gave me affirmations that they didn't even know I needed.
The city of Reading is looking for a new police chief.
But still, at work, Schuler continued to hide behind the arsenal of hair pieces.
Did you think you could be an anchor today, bald?
No, because I didn't see other anchors who were bald. I didn't see women on TV who were bald.
She realized that the only way to liberate herself personally would be to reveal herself publicly. So she told her general manager, Kelly Frank, and news director, Kathleen Giroux, the very personal reason she wanted to do a story about alopecia.
And I said, well, I really want to do the story because I have alopecia and I'm bald and I no longer want to wear wigs.
You weren't really going to ask for permission.
No, I wasn't.
Wow.
But I was fortunate that I work with women who are my cheerleaders, who are uplifting, who were ready to see something like this on their television screen.
We sat down and everything was, whatever you want to do. Let's tell your story.
A beautiful woman inside and out.
The public unveiling was such a triumphant moment for a woman who was born into trauma.
You were born inside of a jail.
Yes. Yes. My mother was in jail for theft.
Schuler says both of her parents battled drug addiction. By 5 years old, she and her 6 siblings were living in the foster care system. There, she says she was physically and sexually abused.
What do you think when you see that girl on the left right there?
I see someone who doesn't really know how beautiful she is.
That little girl went on to compete in pageants and graduate from St. John's University.
A thief simply walked up to this Ford F-150.
She got her first job in television in Yuma, Arizona, before eventually making her way to Philadelphia, where the telling of her story has been so telling.
In the newsroom and conversation, she just seems so much more relaxed, much more comfortable in her own skin.
When I think about how far I've come it makes me emotional.
Her story, picked up nationally, has impacted women like Jamie Flack, who wrote to Schuler.
Mine was totally hormone monthly, had the hysterectomy at 31, took a few years and hair back, but then still got to do my brows myself. You're beautiful and you make me feel that way.
This lady
Yeah.
lives in Montana.
Oh, she does?
Yes, and she was waiting to surprise her.
Stop it! Oh my gosh!
Hi, Ziza. Beautiful lady.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that. Thank you for sending me that message. I just want to know, was it a surprise to see a woman bald on air when you turn on your TV screen?
When I went through it, there was not a lot known about alopecia. And so there was a stigma attached. And it was very humiliating, very, made you very insecure. But I can tell you, girl, I cannot rock it the way you can.
I can't even put into words how much meaning it brings me to know that people all across the country are reaching out and embracing me with such support.
You feel the love?
Yes, I do.
If there was a pill that came out tomorrow that cures alopecia, would you want it?
No.
Really? Why?
Maybe 5 years ago or even 1 year ago, I would have taken that pill in an instant, regardless of the side effects. I found my purpose, and my purpose is to inspire and transform lives of others and be that representation that I needed when I was a young girl. So I can't let my bald head girls down. I can't.
We feel it too, Mr. Begno, for the win. That is our show. I hope it brightened your day. I hope it lifted you up. If it didn't for some reason, reruns remain free. I'm gonna go find some more good news.
This episode of The Uplift is presented by the Subaru Share the Love event.